Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marquee Picks. And today I got the NBA player props for you for Tuesday, January 20th. I got 4 props in today's video, so hopefully there's something here that you guys are going to enjoy. If you guys want some more props for today, tap into the free Discord. I always drop a couple bonus NBA props every single day. So if you guys aren't in love with a couple of these, maybe some of the Discord you guys will like. So get in there, link down in the description below. Go tap into it and get those bonus props for the day. Because when I start posting these props today, this is me going off the current injury rotation. When injury news starts coming available, different lines open up, different edges pop up, and then I attack those edges that pop up. So really do like those bonus props because I feel a little bit more confident about them with the injuries that come out. So, highly recommend you guys get in the Discord and get access to those bonus props that I post, usually roughly around the afternoon time, when I see the way the injury rotations start to look on certain nights. So, yeah, again, highly recommend you guys get in there. But let's recap yesterday's NBA props that I posted. I posted 5 props from that video yesterday. We went 3-2 on those props, so not great, but not bad either. But I was able to come through with a 2-pick hit. I don't have it here on the screen, but I did have Okonkwo and Jalen Williams paired up on a 2-pick, so I was able to cash that out. So I had a pretty I would say even night. Not great, not bad. So it was one of those 50-50 nights. We're not gonna get too upset about those, but yeah, we could have had a really good night here, as you guys can see. John Collins, we had his over 20.5 PRA. I know on the video yesterday I took his over 0.5 assists, but Sleeper didn't have that line on there. So I just took his PRA. He didn't really smash either line, no matter which line you took. He took his 0.5 assist line, which was just egregious how he didn't get 1 assist against the dang Wizards without Kawhi Leonard on the court. So, yeah, it was very frustrating there how Collins wasn't able to get 1 assist. But didn't matter to me either because I had his PRA, and his PRA actually was looking good there. But he got in foul trouble. That also probably could have been a reason why he didn't get the assist, because I don't know, foul trouble, maybe he was less aggressive with the ball. It's one of those. It was just ridiculous. Kind of a wonky game period. But then you got De'Aaron Fox here. We had him over 19.5 points. He finished with 14. And there's not really a lot to say about this one, other than he just didn't really get enough shot attempts, in my opinion. Because, this game was competitive. He played his full allotment of minutes, but he went 6 for 11 from the field. And usually he's a guy that takes 15-plus shots, regularly on a night. So he didn't get enough shot attempts that I was looking for. He shot the 3 ball pretty well as well. 2 for 3 from 3-point range. He just wasn't aggressive when he was looking to score. He finished with 8 assists, 5 rebounds. I don't think his PRA line would have hit either, because I think his PRA line was at like 27 or like 28.5, 29.5. But he just wasn't aggressive when he was looking to score. So, sometimes that's the way Fox plays, and it's annoying to me. He's a guy that should go out there and easily average, 20-plus points a game. And, sometimes on some nights he just doesn't look to score. This was one of those nights. But, he should have gotten 20 points in this game. The way he was going, the way he was shooting the ball, he just didn't want to score, I guess. It's kind of one of those things. But Jalen Williams, under 17.5 PRA, we were lucky on this one because he got 11 PRA in that first quarter. But he got hurt. So we were on the right side of that one. We'll take it. Take those when we can get them. Usually we get a couple of those throughout the NBA season where we have an under, a guy's hot early, gets hurt, never comes back in the game. But, man, this guy was looking like freaking Nikola Jokic out there in that first quarter. He was diming up guys, hitting threes. I was like, is this Jokic or is this Jalen Williams? It's one of, I was like, what's going on here? But luckily we got hurt there, and we were able to catch the under. Then Onyeka Okonkwo under 29.5. This was the strongest pick of the day, I would say. He never had a chance to sniff this line. He had 12 PRA at halftime, so he was kind of on pace, but he was like really a no factor in that second half. He didn't do anything. So Really, really strong on Conquo there. And then Mikal Bridges, under 25.5 PRA. Like I said in that analysis yesterday, this was purely a pick based on my opinion on Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart playing. They both played in this game. And what I say, that was going to be a great, great edge. We were on the right side of it. And he finished with 13 PRA in a non-competitive game, really. So, great game script for the under. So, we had some strong spots yesterday. And we had some spots that we were, stuck on. So, it's one of those 50-50 type of days. But we're looking to turn the page here for the NBA today. I got 4 more props here for today's video. So, let's go ahead and jump right into the props here for the day. So, the first prop here for the NBA today, we're going to be targeting Jamal Murray under 4.5 rebounds. Got him rejected at 3.3. So, we got the Lakers taking on the Nuggets here. The Lakers are 2.5 point favorites, 228.5 point total. And this is probably going to be one of my more riskier picks here today. But in this kind of matchup here, you guys can see the trends. Over his last 4 games, he has not really been a factor rebounding the ball at all. You had a couple where he got 1, 2, 2, and 3. So he really hasn't been sniffing this line over his last 4 games. And this is another tough matchup here. I got the Lakers being the number 2 toughest team when limiting rebounds to point guards. So, I'm going to go right back to the well here and keep playing these downward trends for Jamal Murray on the under 4.5 rebounds here today. But the reason I am cautious is because you guys could see the graph. He had a stretch there where he was rebounding the ball pretty effectively. But I'm purely taking the under just because of the trends and the matchup here. The Lakers being a very, very tough team at limiting rebounds to point guards. But another reason why it could be a concern is because, of course, there's no Nikola Jokic out there. So, one of the top rebounders in the league isn't going to be out there getting rebounds. So others are going to have to rebound the ball. And Jamal Murray certainly could be that guy that looks for more rebound opportunities. But I think I'm going to keep playing the trends here. And given the matchup here, the Lakers are pretty much healthy. So, they got Ayton, LeBron, and Doncic out there on the other side of this game who can rebound very effectively. So, I just don't know if the pace is going to be there either. With this game being a 228.5 point total, it's not the craziest pace environment in my opinion. So, I think all factors considered, 4.5 just seems a little bit too high. I do think this probably jumps down to 4 on PrizePicks. So, if it goes to 4, I probably wouldn't play it because he could easily get stuck on 4 in this game. I just don't know if he's going to be able to get to 5 rebounds in this game. I think 5 rebounds is a lot to ask for this kind of game. So, again, if it drops to 4, probably pivot something else. So, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen here with this pick. It is a little bit of a cautious pick, but I am going to play it, see how it turns out. Jumping in pick number 2, second Rudy Gobert, under 27.5 PRA. Got him rejected at 23.6. So we got the Timberwolves taking on the Jazz here. Timberwolves are 10.5 point favorites, 244.5 point total. So this is me playing a blowout narrative once again. I believe we just did this a couple nights ago with Jamal Murray under his PRA against the Wizards. We were hoping that game would be a blowout and Jamal Murray wouldn't see the fourth quarter. We were on the wrong side of it. Murray went for 40, and it was a competitive game. So we're going right back to that narrative here once again for this matchup. Taking the under here on Gobert because I think the Timberwolves can win this game by 30. That's how confident I am here in the Timberwolves' ability to win this game. I don't really think the Jazz are going to be able to compete here with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are pretty much fully healthy now. Ant's back in the mix, so, they're pretty much fully healthy. So I expect the Timberwolves to put it all together here, have a nice little complete basketball game, and just lay it on the Jazz. And this is a guy in Gobert that doesn't play crazy minutes anyway. So, he doesn't usually play, 30-plus every night. Sometimes he gets limited sometimes. I don't know why. I mean, there's been several games this year where, fourth quarters around, we're like, all right, why isn't Gobert coming back in the game? We don't know. Sometimes they just don't like the way the matchups work out. So his minutes can always be kind of wonky sometimes. But, on the season, he averaging around 30 minutes a game. But, his minutes could definitely change depending on how the game script's going. So he's kind of one of those that, could get limited in some of his playing time. But, taking the under here. pretty much every guy that I had on the Timberwolves was projected over. I had Randall projected over, Anthony Edwards was projected over, DiVincenzo projected over. So if you guys want to take an over on the Timberwolves, I would say Anthony Edwards looks the best in this game. If you guys want to look to a pivot for an over for this game. But, it's one of those blowout risks could affect it. So that's why I was a little hesitant on it. If you guys think that the Jazz can play competitively in this game, take the over on Anthony Edwards. Just given that I had Rudy Gobert projected under this line, he was like the only Timberwolf that was projected under his line. I'm going to go with what the projections are saying. So, we're hoping the Timberwolves can blow out the Jazz here, so we probably don't have to worry about it. Because this is a guy in Gobert that he's gonna get a majority of his stuff in the points and rebound area and the paint. And the Jazz do have Nurkic on the other side of this game, so it's not like Nurkic is some scrub big guy. He's a pretty physical big guy that can also rack up rebounds pretty quickly as well. So I think the matchup isn't as great as it looks on paper. So I'm taking the under here. 23.6 is the projection. I think that's a pretty strong projection. I think this line's too high. And, we're hoping the blowout comes in and helps us out here for pick number 2. Jumping into pick number 3. We're going to be taking Russell Westbrook over 27.5 PRA. Got him at 34.3. And this is a guy that you always want to take a combo stat on for the majority of the time. Just given what he's done in his career. He's always been a guy that racks up stats. And racks up stats in a hurry. So in this matchup here, we got the Heat taking on the Kings. The Heat are 3.5 point favorites, 236.5 point total. Very solid game environment. And this is probably one of the better matchups that Westbrook will see all season long in the NBA in terms of the environment of this game. The Heat are currently the 29th ranked team when it comes to giving up PRA to point guards. So Westbrook should be able to get stuff in a hurry in this game. He really should. But there is also a risk because the Kings are pretty much getting healthy now. Sabonis is back in the mix. So, that's another guy that takes up a lot of volume on offense. But he's still kind of limited. They're kind of working him back into the rotation. He's not playing 30-plus minutes right now. He's kind of playing 24, 25 minutes. So I don't really know exactly when the Kings will start upping his workload. But one thing for certain, Westbrook, he's going to be out there probably the most, other than DeRozan, in terms of rotation-wise. He's going to be playing the most minutes. He plays around 33 minutes a night. And he could certainly play more than that, depending on the game script. So in a fast-paced environment, lots of shots, lots of rebound opportunities, lots of, assist chances. Westbrook should feast here on the Heat. And we did just take Westbrook a couple nights ago over his PRA. And it came through for us as well. But you guys can see here, he's been on a little bit of a heater over his last 5 games as well. He's been smashing this line pretty easily over his last 5. And he's done it really all season. 23 out of 43 times this year with a line of 27.5. And that's before he started playing 30-plus minutes. So, beginning of the year, he was kind of that bench role. But he was still being effective in that spot. And, now he's playing 30-plus minutes. He's shooting a 3-ball actually really, really well this year. I think he's having a career year from 3-point range as well. So he's shooting a 3-ball pretty well. He should be able to make 2 3-balls in this game at least. And, he should really dominate the Heat here. Unless, it could be a Levine type of night as well. It's kind of one of those on this Kings team that any one of these guys can have a strong night any kind of given night. So they're fully healthy, but Westbrook should be able to get this done here. It's a pretty favorable line, 27.5. I've seen a little bit higher this year as well in worse spots. So 27.5 feels really, really strong for Westbrook. He should be able to get here in a competitive game. But before I get to the last pick for you guys, smash the like button on this video. Only takes a second to do. Really do appreciate you guys. You guys have been helping me out a ton. Grow this channel little by little every single day. So I try to give you guys these free wins on a daily basis. So hopefully we can come through here with a 4-0 sweep today. And the man that's going to close out this slip is going to be Coby White over 25.5 PRA. Got him at 28.6. So I really do like this pick a lot. We got the Clippers taking on the Bulls here. The Bulls are 3.5 point favorites, 226.5 point total. So it's not the greatest game environment on paper 226.5 point total doesn't scream scoring, but the competitiveness of this game I really do like. So this is a spot here where the Clippers are on a back-to-back, playing that game against the Wizards yesterday, and I believe they're going to be without Kawhi Leonard once again. So this is a banged-up Clippers team, and the Bulls could be getting back Josh Giddey for this game. And I think this line suggests that Josh Giddey will play, and I actually do have Josh Giddey to play. So Josh Giddey should be back in this game. He's currently listed as questionable, so that'll be a big-time boost to this Bulls lineup. They're in desperate need of him to get back in there. But I see this as a spot where Coby White should be able to score a lot of points in this game. I think he could definitely score at least 20, and he should be able to get 6 rebounds and assists any kind of fashion. He should be able to get 3 and 3 rebounds and assists. I could see that being a very, reasonable outcome for for Coby White in this game. Josh Giddey also looks good. If you guys want to pivot to another option, Josh Giddey at 30.5. That PR8 line looks really, really enticing, but is Josh Giddey going to be limited? That was the concern that I had. That's why I didn't pull the trigger on it. But if you guys feel confident, Josh Giddey over looks good as well. But I'm taking Coby White. He's going to be out there a majority of the time, plays 30-plus minutes. He's back into his normal workload now. They were kind of working him in, over the last couple games coming off his injury. But he's actually playing some big-time minutes now. So his minutes should be up there. And, if Giddey does play, I'm still going to like it. Just because Giddey's a guy that likes to pass the ball a lot. And Coby White, he likes to play off the ball. He's a shooting guard type of player. He likes to play off the ball a little bit more than just running the point guard role. So I think Coby White's due to get a 20-piece here in this game. The environment should be there. Competitiveness of the game should be there. And Coby White should be the man to close out this 4-0 sweep today for the NBA. So that's the NBA player props I got for you guys. If you enjoyed it, once again, smash a like on this video. Really do appreciate it. You guys have been killing these videos recently. Keep on doing that. And stay alert for the future videos. Turn your post notifications on so you never miss any of those future videos. And that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.